there's a profound shift in a lot of aspects of our lives these days. We may not be seeing it, but it's profoundly happening, and that's in higher education. The cost of everything, and it shouldn't really be confusing to anyone. People need more value because the dollar is going not as far, and families and households and people trying to get higher education. You really see the growth of community colleges, and that's where I think the most nimble, innovative programs work and people are at. No disrespect to our four-year universities like UNH in Durham or Plymouth State or Keene State. And full disclosure, I've had kids go through at least two of those, and they're wonderful places and institutions, but the enrollment numbers are not going up. Let me repeat that. The enrollment numbers are not going up. And that's the marketplace. And the community college enrollment numbers are going up. The demand is going up. And that's where programs are feeding employers. And that's where the students of all ages and stages in life are getting a great bang for their buck and then some. But what's amazed me is our friends in New Hampshire Technical Institute in this segment we do each month, not just bringing back the trades, but really spreading the word on our community colleges. I'm amazed at just how wonderful the energy level, the professionalism of the people working on these community colleges, the innovations, the morale is so high and fun. We have a couple folks in from NHTI talking about campus clubs and leadership. Kaitlin and Joanna, thanks for being in our studios.
Thanks for having us.
Tell us about your stories. How long have you been in NHTI? What brought you there? And if I'm right about the energy levels being high because there's so much good stuff happening.
Yeah, so my name is Kaitlin Moody, and I oversee student activities at NHTI. I was a student at NHTI and got really involved by going to different activities. And then I realized, oh, wow, this could be a job. So I graduated from NHTI, then went on to Plymouth, and eventually got my master's degree at SNU and came back and has worked at NHTI for the last 10 or so years. So I've really seen it through a lot of changes and challenges, but one thing that has always remained is getting involved and how important that is.
Tell us, well, describe what you do there now, your job.
Yeah, so
your mission.
I oversee, we have about 22 clubs and organizations ranging from healthcare majors to our student senate. We have engineering clubs, music clubs, community service. And so I oversee that. And then a lot of our student engagement team that puts on leadership opportunities. We collaborate with different offices, but I oversee, I say, the fun stuff, the things outside of the classroom. Of course, you know, you're going to school to learn, but there's so much more to it. And Joanna and I both do a lot with, we call it the pillaring, where we go out and meet new people and get students engaged.
Joanna, tell us your story, how you came to NHTI and your background.
All right. Well, I'm Joanna Willis. I'm currently working as the Accessibility Services Coordinator. And I'm a little bit older than Kaitlin. So I'm a graduate of NHTI back in the 90s. And I loved my time there. I went off to do other things. Eventually coming back, I started back at NHTI in 2017. Saw how much fun Kaitlin was having with her groups, and I decided to ask her if I could be one of the advisors for a student organization. And I work with students, and I'm the advisor to the social club.
The social club. There you go. What changes have you seen at NHTI and the mission, the purpose now, and really all the activity level, which seems to be year-round, even in August, from when you went there as a student?
There's been a lot of changes. I think you had mentioned Mike Rowe coming for the work with the trades. There's a lot of good stuff going on with that and just growing our workforce development. That was something that I didn't know of back in the 90s because it was more program focused, and you go to school, you do your program 2 years, and you're out. But there's a lot more community engagement, I feel like, and that's why I think it's important when Kaitlin and I go out and do our things. It's just getting to know the community better and focusing in on what the needs are out there, and we've learned a lot.
It's interesting, and I don't want to bring up my own, date myself here, but University of Vermont days, I loved Burlington and UVM then so much that I would stay up there all summer, never go home, just get a job and, work. Typically, four-year universities in the summer, at least July and August, other than camps, maybe some sports camps, maybe some special club stuff, they shut down. I mean, it's like sleep time on campus. I remember the whole, even a big university, it's like, wow, July and August, it's quiet. Nothing. It seems like you just never have a quiet period now at NHTI. It's year-round. Even during the summer, you're busy. You had students there this summer. We had some of the interviews. They were in the dorms, the programs. You keep cranking year-round.
That's right.
And we have 12-month housing, so we have students here. I mean, it's a small amount, but we're lucky at NHTI to have residence halls, great athletics programs. They're competitive athletics. We have students come from all over, and you really get the 4-year experience. As we've mentioned today already, no knock on our 4 years. I went to both. My time at NHTI was unmatched. It was amazing. I made some of my best friends there, and you really can do a lot. With it being a smaller school, you can get more involved. You can network with people. I've met so many amazing people, and it's just by taking the time to get involved. Everyone's busy. There's a lot, going on, but just, staying an extra hour to go to a club meeting or attending an event, it can open a lot of doors. We've had students get jobs, internships, amazing opportunities just by getting involved, because that's the group that people look for when I'm asked by the president or someone else for a student to be on a committee. We look at our clubs and orgs for that stuff.
Now, can you run through, you mentioned a few, tell us the clubs that are on campus.
Yeah, so we have a criminal justice club, cultural exchange club, engineering club.
So let's stop there from a criminal justice. I'm studying to become law enforcement. You have a club. Yep. Or any of these clubs. So how does that work?
Yes.
What is the club? Is it an extension of the program, My Studies? Is it just people getting together talking about the program? What is the club?
Great question. So any major specific club like criminal justice, nursing, dental, those students in the program are, I don't want to say automatically enrolled, but they tend to be a cohort of students who stick together, and it's an extension in that regard. If I'm a student in criminal justice, I'm not going to join the nursing club, but they have, their own club. Then we have things like Student Senate, the Social Club, Environmental Action. We have our Stage Links Drama Club. Those clubs are open to anyone with an interest to either learn something or meet new people. And they just need to show up. We have flyers everywhere around campus with contact information of the advisor. Of course, my office is in the Student Center in a main hub, so people can just stop by and I give them the information. But all clubs are open to everyone. So if there's an interest, and if there's a club that we don't have, talk with me. We can talk about starting it.
And Joanna, what do you think is good about the clubs? Do they support the programs?
Yes.
Is it more good for just peer networking and, so if someone's having a challenge or, there's strength in numbers or comfort in numbers?
So I think that the clubs, there's something for everyone. What I like about our clubs is that it's not only focusing on NHTI and our students, but they also join the community. For example, the Rad Tech Club does an Easter egg hunt. The students organize and coordinate baskets, Easter eggs. They put it out to the faculty, staff, and other families within our NHTI community, and then we'll literally drive to our house, drop off eggs in a basket, and then the children at home can just have fun on Easter Day. Things like that, make me feel happy and included, with our students doing such good work. The other things that the clubs do is, like the engineering club, they make ornaments, they make
the 3D
trinkets,
bracelets.
Right, bracelets. They, have sales. They put their money back to good use. So I just feel like for students to join a club, it's great, looks great on a resume. It helps the community in many ways. And like Kaitlin said before, there's something for everyone.
What about, we don't talk about it a lot in the segment, but maybe you would know, because you mentioned both of you had some involvement there and came back.
Yes.
Do you encourage other folks that might be looking to work part-time, volunteer part-time, to maybe look at the community colleges in their community, Lakes Region, Manchester, Nashua, Great Bay, over in the Seacoast, to see if there are some opportunities to work part or full-time? Because I think work is virtue, and I think sometimes people just want to be in an environment, in a culture, and a team that's exciting and uplifting, and, you know, you believe in the mission, makes you want to get up and do something. Would you recommend people go in and talk to folks like yourselves or the employment side to see if there are part or full-time or even volunteering opportunities?
Yeah, definitely. NHTI is a great place to work. I get up every morning and love what I do, and part of that is because of the people I work with. And then, of course, our students, they can go on the Community College System of New Hampshire website, and there's always jobs posted. But we do a lot, like Joanna's mentioned, in the community. So if someone wants a volunteer opportunity, I'm approached by businesses often who are looking for students or volunteers, whether it's to work with our, elderly population, or you talked about a blood drive a little bit ago. We're going to have a blood drive on campus in a month or two. We try to get students involved and the community so we can give back and that they can feel a sense of purpose.
Good stuff. And real quickly, you mentioned some of the clubs and programs, and I guess it's hard to generalize, but we talked earlier about the trades and our effort there, and working with you folks as one of the main sponsors with the job fair, and it was just amazing to see. I think it was like 4,000 young people that day when we did the show there. The governor was there and other leaders, and Mike Rowe and I, and did my show on location, and he was amazed too. But that was sort of a younger high school senior graduating age group. But your students you're seeing in engineering, criminal justice, medical imaging, your different programs. Are you seeing folks at different walks of life and stages and ages coming in as students, or are you seeing mostly still, students in their 20s?
The average age is
like 26,
yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, so you have students. One of the best things about NHTI is you can go to class and your peers can be 18-year-olds right out of high school, or you can have someone 70. They're students of all over. No longer is it traditional age, and that's kind of an antiquated term, but students right out of high school, we serve all students, and it's great to learn from them. They've taught our students so much because they have different lived experiences, and I think it really helps promote the learning.
Well, I just think, speaking of the trade, some of the HVAC, plumbing and heating, electrical, you get a 2-year degree, and it might be, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, under $10,000 a year total. So say 7,000 or 8,000, 2 years. My UVM math would tell me that, maybe $16,000. You come out with your associate degree. Many companies are willing to do an apprenticeship or pay you a bonus and teach you what you don't know. And you probably, if you're willing to work hard, you're probably a year or two away from six-figure income.
Making more than all of us.
and you, such a nominal, reasonable investment. And we wonder why that's the demand area with everything else so expensive. I mean, housing, rent, nothing's affordable, really, except for community college opportunity. And I just look at the opportunity to really do well after a 2-year degree. I remember the 4 years I was just talking to someone the other day about this, 4 years at University of Vermont, and I did a little bit of some stuff after college. But, you spend the first couple of years, no disrespect, having a lot of fun. And then you sort of spend the last year worrying about what you're going to do for work. And the 4 years passes, and it costs a lot more money. And we had your medical imaging director on the show as one of our guests recently, and I'll never forget what she said. It was before your graduation, so it was, late last spring, before summer. And she said of the 150 students enrolled in imaging, that could be anything from, radiology assistant technician, 150 graduating, 150 already had jobs before they knew who the commencement speaker was going to be.
Yep.
Already had jobs before they even graduated. usually you graduate, you have that anxiety of a few months going, what am I going to do when I grow up? What am I going to do? I'm no longer in school. I need to work. What am I going to do? And they were pre-hired before they even graduated.
That's right. That's the high demand programs that we have. Now
It's
they're
amazing,
very
though.
difficult to get into sometimes because we only accept so many.
Yeah, but it's amazing.
But yeah, good for them.
I mean, no disrespect to an Ivy League school or Dartmouth up in Hanover. Take any of their programs. I don't think 100% of a graduating major, you could say even in an Ivy League school, are 100% hired. That's amazing. So thank you both very much. Continue the great work at NHTI and the club side and leadership. Thank you for your energy. I appreciate it. I love it.
Thank you.